Today we continue our topics about the steam system optimization, and then now I want to talk about the energy performance indicators. Um, as you know that we need to know about the performance energy, especially energy performance of boiler itself, so we can have a baseline, we can have reference according to regarding of the energy performance. We can use this number as a reference as a baseline to compare uh, whether your boiler is in a good condition or whether we can improve our performance based on a certain number, certain indicators. Yeah. The most popular in energy performance is efficiency, boiler efficiency. This is maybe the most and the widely used for many boilers operators to express their the boiler performance. Yeah. So boiler efficiency is the common the most common indicators to express the energy performance of boiler. So this efficiency expressed in percentage, yeah, it is that the efficiency is uh, the ratio of the energy use. Sorry, the ratio of useful energy that produced from boiler compared to its energy consumption, to boiler energy consumption. So boiler efficiency is ratio of uh, useful energy that produced from boiler, which is this it could be a steam, yeah, steam energy contains in steam that they produce from boilers, uh, divided by the energy consumption to produce such amount of the energy from the useful energy from boiler or to produce a certain amount of steam. So we can express this. We can calculate the boiler efficiency with this formula, as you can see in this slide. Boiler efficiency is the ratio of useful energy, which is we can calculate the useful energy by m steam, uh, flow rate of steam, yeah, multiply by uh, delta enthalpy, which is that delta enthalpy is the enthalpy of steam minus of enthalpy of feed water. Yeah. Delta enthalpy is the enthalpy of steam minus of enthalpy of feed water boiler. And then we have to divide it this number by the energy consumption. The energy consumption of boiler is flow rate of fuel, m fuel, multiplied by Higher heating value of fuel. Higher heating value of fuel. Yeah. And multiply by 100%. This is the boiler efficiency, the most direct expression of efficiency. Yeah, we can also call this direct method, yeah. Direct method, or yeah, direct method of efficiency to calculate an boiler efficiency. But we have to calculate. So from this equation, we can know that to calculate the boiler efficiency, we have to know the flow rate of steam, yeah, flow rate of steam and flow rate of feed water, flow rate of steam, flow rate of feed water, and flow rate of fuel. But in reality, in actual, sometimes we have problem with the flow rate with these flow meters, especially flow meter for steam, and also flow meter for fuel, especially when we deal with the solid fuel. Yeah. If we deal with solid fuel, we have the sometimes we have difficulty with this uh, flow meters. Yeah, flow meters. When we deal with coal, for example, um, mostly we have we use gravity meters. Yeah, gravity meters to measure the flow rate of coal, and then sometimes it is difficult to sometimes this gravity meter have low accuracy, have low accuracy. Yeah. But if we deal with the fuel in other form like gas or liquid, sometimes we have better accuracy, yeah, in terms of flow meters. Yeah. Yeah, we know that the boiler efficiency depend first, uh, depend on the type of fuel that they use. Yeah. For example, if you use wood, yeah, if you use wood as fuel, boiler efficiency is around 70 until 75%. If you use natural gas, mostly the efficiency is in between 80 and 85%. And if we use oil and coal, this is the highest efficiency can attain from the boiler. We can have a better efficiency boiler if you use oil and coal. It could reach in between 85 up until 90%. Also, we know that boiler efficiency varies with fuel use or fuel type, whether we use solid fuel or liquid or gas fuel. And then the second one varies, the boiler efficiency varies with installed equipment and controls. Installed equipment and controls. Yeah. Many boilers in industry have no or have a minimum control system, or some of them have no control at all. Yeah. And then also we deal with the boiler efficiency varies with boiler design. Design also affect to the boiler efficiency. And then the fourth one is boiler efficiency. It depends also on operating load. Yeah, operating load. Mostly, boiler efficiency is higher in full load. Yeah, full load, and then in this efficiency decreasing with the decreasing of the load. Yeah, in lower load, in low load, boiler's efficiency tend to decrease. Tend to decrease. And then in actual condition, mostly boiler operate with the various load. Yeah, because the steam demands follow the demand on the process. Yeah, the demand on the process. And then because the process mostly in dynamic condition. Yeah, because the production is not a steady state condition, usually varies. The production process is usually varies, depend on the many aspect, depends on the many parameters. So the demand of steam also varies. Because the demand of steam varies, the boiler load also varies. And then, of course, the boiler efficiency uh, will be affected of the from the operating load. So basically, in practice, we have to calculate the boiler efficiency in terms of the the variation of the load. Yeah, for example, you can measure the efficiency, or you can calculate the efficiency when the boiler in the low mode, for example, in 50% of load, 70% of load, and then you have to calculate also the efficiency when the boilers running with the higher load, for example, more than 80% up until 100% of load. And then many other aspect that also affect boiler efficiency. Yeah. uh, this is the example of the efficiency of the natural gas boilers. Yeah, natural gas boilers. The axis is the boiler load from 0 up until 100%, and then the y-axis is the boiler efficiency from 0 up until 100%. You can see that in this picture, is in this diagram that in for the boiler load more than 40%, yeah, more up until more than 40% boiler load in this gas boiler, they they will reach the highest efficiency, that is 80% here. Yeah, 80% of boiler efficiency could be attained at the boiler load more than 40%. Yeah, more than 40% of boiler load, uh, the boiler efficiency have the highest achievement. Yeah, and then we can express this relationship between the boiler load with the boiler efficiency with this equation, which is this equation uh, um, can we can create, yeah, we can create this model from the certain amount of historical data. Yeah, we need a certain number of historical data to calculate or to make or to form this equation. So uh, here x is the boiler load and y is boiler efficiency. Yeah, so we can estimate if the boiler load, for example, 50%, we can put this 50% to this equation. Yeah, 0.004, for example, 0.004 multiplied by 50%. Yeah, and then so on, and then we can find the boiler efficiency. We can get the boiler efficiency from this equation. As you can see in this in this example, the R square is 0.96. It means that the correlation between the boiler load and boiler efficiency is very close. Yeah, very high. Yeah, the relationship is very high. But this example is for it is true for the natural gas of boiler. This is specific for natural gas boiler. If we deal with the other type of boiler, for example, coal boiler, we will experience the others. We will experience other slightly difference. Yeah, well, we will see the slightly difference diagram. Yeah, our number if we talk about the others kind of other type of fuel. We have uh, we also can measure the efficiency, boiler efficiency. We can calculate also the boiler efficiency with this indirect method, yeah, with other method. We call this indirect method. The previous one, the previous one, or with this formula or with this equation, here we call this the method of the calculation is boiler is a direct method, yeah? Direct method because we calculate directly, yeah. But we can also calculate the boiler efficiency with indirect method, indirect method, which is we can express the efficiency by uh, this equation. That is, boiler efficiency is 100%. 100 minus losses, energy losses in cell, minus energy losses in blowdown, minus energy losses in stack, and minus other energy losses. So in this expression, we don't need a flow rate of steam, or we don't need the flow rate of fuel. So if we have the problem with the flow rate or flow meter for fuel, as I mentioned before that, sometimes we don't have there's no flow meter installed there, or the flow meter have lower accuracy, low accuracy. So we can use this number, we can trust this number. So in the in this situation, when we have problem with the flow rate, yeah, or flow meter of the fuel, we can use this method to calculate the boiler efficiency. We call this indirect methods. Yeah, we just to calculate, or just to find the how many energy losses in cell, how many energy losses in blowdown, how many energy losses in stack, and other losses, yeah, other losses. So we can, from this equation, we can draw, we can see in this diagram, yeah, the energy balance. We can draw the energy balance. We can graph the energy balance of the boiler as you can see here, yeah, as you can see here. In this boiler system, or in the steam system, in boiler system, for example, especially, there are so many losses. Yeah, there are so many losses. The first one is radiation and convection, or we can also call this the energy losses in cell, yeah, in cell, boiler cell, uh, in the mechanism, radiation and convection mechanism, yeah. Also, there are some certain amount of energy losses in blowdown. Also, there are so many the most or the most losses, yeah, the the highest, yeah, the highest losses, or the biggest losses, the biggest energy losses in the system is the energy that we throw we expel from the stack itself. Yeah, this is the energy from the combustion. This is the energy from combustion, because as you know that when we combust the fuel, we need air. We need air to uh, to 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 make the combustion happen. So the flue gas, yeah, the flue gas, the the output from the combustion, yeah, the output of combustion first is energy itself, that convert water become vapor, become steam in boilers. And then the other products is the flue gas. The other product of combustion is flue gas, the flue gas. And then we we run this flue gas into the stack to export this flue gas into the atmosphere, to the atmosphere. So this is the highest energy losses. The highest energy losses in steam system is in stack losses. And then if we use coal or solid fuel, we have other losses. Yeah, we have other losses. That is a bottom S and fly S, because we know that in coal is contains a certain amount of S, and then this S we have to this is the become a product of the combustion. This S divided by two kind of S, bottom S and fly S. The finest S is go with the air, yeah, the flue gas or the combustion air, and then go to the stack, the finest S, and then the the rough S or the S then with the particle size is bigger, yeah, the with bigger particle size, we have to we have to expel from the boiler through the bottom, yeah, through the bottom. We call this the bottom S, yeah, the bottom S. Um, the most complicated or the most complete of the this indirect method, for example, we can refer to American Society of Mechanical Engineering ASME Power Test Code 04. This is this for coal boiler, yeah, this for coal boiler. And then there are 8 or 9 kind of losses in boilers. So the expression will be longer than this expression in this slide, because there are 8 up until 9 of type of energy losses in boilers. And then you can refer to this SME Power Test Code 04, yeah, to calculate the boiler efficiency with indirect methods, specific for coal boiler, yeah, specifically for coal boiler. Talk about the cellulose, yeah, cellulose. Uh, Heat dissipated from the boiler. We know that the boiler surface, the boiler surface temperature is higher than surrounding, yeah, than surrounding. So as a consequence of this temperature difference, the heat will be flow, yeah, will be transferred from the surface boiler to the surrounding with the conduction, convection, and radiation mechanism. Yeah, mechanism, heat transfer mechanism. We call this cellulose. Yes, we call this cellulose, and it is expressed as a percent input of energy, as a percent input of energy. And this cellulose is independent of the boiler load. So it is not depend on it is not dependent on boiler load. So it is independent of boiler load. Yeah, yeah. Uh, because the why? Because the area of surface is the same. Yeah, constant, yeah, constant. The surface is not the surface boiler is not varies with the boiler load. Is not varies with boiler load, yeah, and then so the cell loss is relatively constant, yeah, relative constant, not depend on uh, boiler load. Here in this table is some example of cell loss gross estimate field evaluation. It depend on boiler type. There are for example this in this table there are four type of boilers, yeah, water tube boilers and fire tube boilers, yeah. It depend also on steam production rating or its capacity of boiler capacity. For example, for minimum capacity of 5 ton up until 50 ton maximum ton per hour steam, boiler cell loss estimate maximum 2% for minimum rating for minimum loading, and then minimum 0.3%. So the boiler the cell loss for boiler water tube with the capacity in between with capacity 5 up until 50 ton per hour, the cell loss in between 0.3 up until 2%. Yeah. And then we in the boiler with the higher capacity, the cell loss tend to lower, yeah, tend to decrease. For example, water tube boiler with the capacity of 500 until 5,000 ton per hour, the cell loss in between 0.2 up until 0.1 up until 0.2%. Okay, I have to finish now, and then tomorrow we will continue with these topics.